Hi, Dr. Larry Altshuler here, talking to you about healthcare and healthcare reform. Telling you things that you won't hear from the media and you certainly won't hear from politicians. Now, in my last video, I talked about why the Affordable Care Act is not going to be affordable. That's a real misnomer. The Affordable Care Act is going to cost much more than you've ever been told by the administration and the Democrats. In my last video, I told you three aspects of why it was going to cost so much. And basically that we're writing a blank check and it's going to be unbelievable to pay for the things the Affordable Care Act is trying to do. In this clip, I'm going to talk about two other things. The first thing I want to talk about has to do with a lot of the provisions in the Affordable Care Act. Now, this is really sneaky. This is amazing how they've done this. Many of the provisions of the Affordable Care Act are self-expanding. And what I mean by this is that they have committees and councils whose main goals, main directions are actually not to do specific things, but are in fact to go out and look for other things to reform, other areas that need reform, and to make more recommendations and more committees and more rules and regulations. And this is scattered throughout the Affordable Care Act. It's really amazing. So you think the Affordable Care Act is only 2,700 pages long, which is bad enough. In fact, in reality, it's going to be thousands and thousands of more pages because every provision provides to expand, the self-expansion, and go to other areas and spend even more money. And we have no idea how much that's going to cost. That's number one. Number two, it has to do with the health insurance exchanges. Now, this is a major part of the Affordable Care Act. These exchanges are being set up by every state. And what it is an exchange in which all these insurance companies will have policies that people can go to and choose their policy. Now, certainly, they can compare the policies, and the policies will be more transparent, which is good. But I'm here to tell you that this is going to fail miserably and cost a lot of money. Because what happens is, this is where most of the uninsured are going to go to get their insurance policies. And if they can't afford it, which most of them can't, then the government is going to subsidize. Well, we don't know how much those subsidies are going to be. It really depends on how many people use the system and how many people can't afford it. Well, just think about that for a minute. But let me tell you how these health insurance exchanges, the only way that they're going to be successful. In any insurance system, you have to have balance. You have to have healthy people balance out unhealthy people. And this is what they're depending for the insurance exchange. They're hoping they have just as many unhealthy along with the healthy to balance it out so the healthy can help pay for the cost to the unhealthy. And what I mean by unhealthy are people with pre-existing conditions, chronic conditions, elderly people, and those who are aging will have more chronic conditions. But here's the problem. The Kaiser Foundation just came out with a study, a very good study, that in fact shows that the majority of people who are going to use health exchanges are going to be unhealthy. They're the ones that are going to cost the most amount of money. And the unhealthy are not going to use the exchanges anywhere as much. And so there's going to be a tremendous imbalance. Now, in these exchanges, the government has mandated that each state come out with a basic benefits package, kind of a bare bones policy that kind of covers the basics for everyone. But here's the problem with that. People with pre-existing conditions and chronic conditions, the unhealthy, a basic benefits policy is not going to help them because you're going to need much more than a basic policy you're going to be able to give them. And in this system, you're going to have many more unhealthy people. That's going to cost a tremendous amount of money, and they're not going to be able to use these basic benefit insurance policies. So what's going to happen? Well, are the insurance policies going to be built up so that it can cover these people? Well, number one, again, you're not going to have healthy people to help cover this, so it's going to be much more expensive. But here's the real problem. The government is saying, well, we're going to make sure that the insurance companies can't raise their premiums. They have to go by a certain premium. They can't do this. A basic benefits policy, they can have a pretty good premium. But the more and more it expands, the insurance companies can't do it because it would be so expensive, they're not going to be able to have a policy that covers it. So the government is actually self-defeating their own exchange by doing this. Folks, the problem is that the subsidies are going to have to be very, very high to cover all the pre-existing and chronic medical conditions. And we're not going to have healthy people joining these exchanges to balance it out. And so it's going to cost a heck of a lot more than you've ever thought before. So for these two reasons and the three reasons I gave in my last videos, the Affordable Care Act is going to cost an amazing amount of money that you have no idea. The Affordable Care Act is not going to be affordable. So with that in mind, I'm going to have more videos now that are going to go more in depth because, in fact, the Affordable Care Act does try to have provisions to decrease these costs. And as you'll see, those provisions aren't going to work at all and actually are going to be harmful to the quality of care we receive. So I urge you to go to my website, balancedhealing.com. You'll find all these videos there, but you'll also find a lot of information that will help you navigate through the healthcare system and find the most cost-effective treatments for you. Well, until then, thanks for tuning in and listening to my video, and I hope you return to listen to all my other videos. Thank you.